my 8th painting update for 2023. This update covers everything I painted in August this year. This update sees the culmination of my American Civil War project, which may well please some of you, and the start of my return to the Renaissance period. I'll start at the front and work back so you can see those buildings. We can end with the buildings. So right at the front there are 8 American Civil War civilians from Redoubt Enterprises. Some of these were sent to me as freebies with my orders, so I'm very grateful for those. Again, they're metal, 28mm obviously. There's a preacher. There's a well-to-do plantation owner's wife. I think this is probably the plantation owner, but he could be a city gent. There's a slightly less well-to-do lady who's I don't know, Southern Belle, I suppose. Couple of workers and a couple of slaves, because there we go. I can dot them around my battlefields and they can watch in consternation as the Union Army comes to free their workforce, as it should. Right at the beginning of the month, as I was preparing to do my the final bits and pieces for the American Civil War, I decided to rejig the Confederate Army list and include 2 more infantry units. So the first week of August was spent preparing these. So here they are. These are both packs of Ragged Rebs from Redoubt. So they are the ones with the patched uniforms. This is the 18th Georgia Regiment. Again, I picked the went out and grabbed some flags off GMB Designs that I like the look of. So there's those guys and the troopers to go with them. Here we go. And then these guys, whoa, these are the 33rd Virginia. Again, they're like an Irish regiment, so I gave them something a bit different in their flags, you know, to there we go. So that's their command and their troops. So these are all the same packs of figures. Obviously the heads can be swapped around and stuff. For the command, I think I got 1 set in shell jackets and 1 set in shirt order, and then mix those between the groups. So another 32. There we go. 32 more Confederate infantry, and that is the last of my American Civil War infantry. And that just left the commanders. So I have an army commander for each side, which are just 2 mounted figures. This is he's General Sherman, and he's got Ulysses S. Grant with him, but General Sherman is my army commander. And then a couple of nondescript, just mounted officers to be brigade commanders. I didn't go overboard with these. I could have surrounded them with guys with flags and stuff. My Confederates are led by Robert E. Lee, and he has wobbling. He has Longstreet next to him. Now originally Longstreet was going to be my commander, but again Redoubt always put freebies in their order, and they sent me a free Robert E. Lee, so Robert E. Lee it is. And again, another couple of just nondescript Confederate generals to be the brigade commanders. And that's it for the American Civil War project. I will try and get everything out in the near future for a sort of big photo shoot, and I'll probably do a quick video then, just going through the army and seeing what they look like set out. But until then, that is the end, apart from the buildings at the back there, of the American Civil War. So now I've gone back to my Renaissance project, where I produced a bunch of armies for 1 hour war games, and I've decided to increase the armies I've kept. I got rid of my Aztecs, and I got rid of my religious fanatics, and my Scottish were already increased because I wanted to do the extra cavalry. So whereas everybody had like 10 or sometimes 12 units, the Scottish had 18. And I really fancied using all my figures in one go. So the plan now is to increase the Conquistadors, the English, and the Landsknechts up to 18 units, and then add on an 18 or maybe 20 units of Ottomans. So here we are, starting with the Spanish Conquistadors. The first thing I had to do with the Conquistadors was to turn them from Conquistadors into a continental Spanish army. So consequently, they've been given pike blocks to go in the centre of their infantry units. So I did 4 pike blocks. There we go. So the front rank are foundry miniatures from their Conquistadors range, which I've used previously for my infantry figures, and then the pikemen themselves are actually from casting room miniatures, and they're Elizabethan English, but they've got lots of Morion helmets and they look very Spanish, and flags are from a chap on eBay who does a really nice sheet of Spanish flags. So 4 bases of those, essentially they're all the same. I get this one. There's 6 different command figures in the command pack from Foundry. So there's like 2 priests, 2 drummers, 2 flag bearers. That's 6, isn't it? I'm feeling there's more somewhere around, but maybe not. And the pikemen are all the same. They're just repeats of the same pack. So there we go. That's the third one. And if I can reach it without stabbing myself, no, I probably can't. I use that hand. Stabbing myself again on my steel pikes. Steel pikes are from some guy on eBay, but no, they're not. The steel pikes come from Casting Room and Foundry. In fact, they supply them, which is nice. Normally, all the steel pikes come from North Star, but these are rather nice brass ones. So there we go. So 4 of those. So they then form the centre of my infantry bases, and the swordsmen that were there come out to form swordsman units, and that gives me 16 of my 18 units, which leaves me needing 2 more. So I got some writers, again casting room miniatures, metal 28mm. I bought a command pack, which is this set here, which I base as a sort of single unit. Each base is a unit, rather than split them up between 2 bases. Just looks better, I think, as a 3. So a commander pack and a troopers pack, and again, nice figures, quite chunky, and that brings my Spanish up to 18 units. Next up will be the English. The English are getting bowmen and cavalry. I've actually painted all the all the English bowmen, but I haven't done their bases, so they'll be in next month's update. And that brings us on to the buildings. So there's 3 American Civil War buildings here from hovels, to give the battlefield an American Civil War flavour, of course. There's a clapboard house. Now this has an interior and stuff, but I don't use interior, so I've glued the roof on. Let's do a kind of So usual hovels detailing, nicely done. I think this was Meade's headquarters at Gettysburg. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's your sort of classic clapboard house. Next up, there's a church again, clapboard church. Let's get that back so you can see a bit more of it. Really, I think I mentioned in where's my preacher? Here he is. In my hovels review, it's like £11.35 I think for this church, which is incredible value for a big chunk of resin. I had a lot of fun painting these. And lastly, there's the plantation house, which I'm going to have to stand up to get. Bop. Where is it? Okay, where you can see it. There's the back. Now, you can see from the windows, it doesn't lend itself to precision painting. You have to be a bit impressionistic with this. There's quite a lot of... This is a very old mould. There's quite a lot of I don't know what you call it, distortion in the resins, particularly on the window frames, panes, whatever you know. However, you know, we're looking at tabletop height. That chimney looks crooked. It's not separate, so I don't have a lot of choice in the matter with that. It definitely looks funny, doesn't it? Anyway, very nice. About 15 quid, I think, for a plantation house. So there we go. So 3 buildings. So those and a few snake rail fences should give the battlefield a suitable North American look. And then lastly, I've got these 2 Ian Weekly battlefront buildings made with his particular kind of lightweight foam resin, whatever it is, sort of expandable stuff. I got these on eBay. These are getting harder and harder to find. These are about £8 each. I got these 2 on a tower for £24. So the tower is going to be incorporated into a building, so I didn't paint it separately. But this ruined tower and there we go. It's pretty. And the ruined bit of wall are kind of freestanding, although I mean they're from the same structure. You can kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really go that way. Let's try it that way. What do we think? Maybe. Anyway, they do sort of, there we go, put it in the middle. They kind of go together, but really they're sort of freestanding. Again, very quick to do. Very pleased I found them, and always on the lookout for more of this to add to my growing collection. Very sorry I got rid of my earlier stuff or didn't take the opportunity to buy it, but you know, you assume this stuff will be around forever, and then it's not. Right, that's it for this update. Thanks very much if you've stuck with it this far. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, all the usual YouTube things. Really appreciate the comments. Really appreciate your support when you give it my videos a like. But don't feel obligated, you know. It's still almost a free country. I look forward to seeing you quite soon with an ACW overview, and of course I'll be back hopefully next month with what I've managed to get painted in September. Look forward to seeing you then.